Alright, here's an update on the Mustang. I got the back end of the car pretty much modified to what I wanted now. I got the trunk lock filled, and I put the remote release in there. So it's a cable that runs up underneath the dash, and there's a little lever to open up the trunk. This back panel here, I was going to use the original tail lights and all that, but the panel that I bought was a really bad reproduction and it wasn't fitting right, so I cut the bottom off and I cut the top off and I welded those on separately. And then I got this piece right here. This is like 20 gauge sheet metal. It's a little bit thicker than 20 gauge, and I just cut that to fit and welded it in between. So now I can either leave it like this, all nice and smooth, and relocate the taillight somewhere, or I can put whatever kind of taillights I want in it. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet. Really like how it's all smoothed in, so I don't know yet, but it's pretty much welded in now. Just got to finish up the corners. So I did that. This bumper, I was going to try and fix it and shorten it and shave the bumper bolts and all that, but it's too badly tweaked. I need to get it really hot and hammer it all out, and that would be a lot of work, so I'm going to just buy a new one. But that's just sitting on there right now so you can see how it's going to look. I got that done. This is what's left of my quarter panel, the lower passenger side quarter panel. This was all rotted out, you can see on the bottom there. And this big rust hole here, I have a picture of it before, it was held in with Bondo. There was like 5 cubic inches of Bondo just plastered in there, holding that to the wheelhouse. So that was not good, so I cut all that out. And voila! I still have to cut out this trunk drop off here. I do have a new panel for it. And then just finish cutting out this corner piece here, and then I'll cut the patch out of the quarter panel skin that I bought. And this wheelhouse is rotted out a bit right here. I'm going to have to make a patch for that. I don't have a wheelhouse and they're really expensive, so I'm just going to make a patch. And that should work out pretty nice. On the inside here, I got my floor welded in on the driver's side. You can see there. Basically, when I cut this out, there's the seat riser right here. You can't really see in here, but there's a seat riser, and then that welds on top of the floor pan. So I had to cut this out and drop it down, otherwise it wouldn't sit on the frame rail correctly, and it would get rust and stuff in the frame rail. So kind of had to do some cutting up, and it didn't really fit right. So it doesn't look all the greatest, but it's in there nice and solid. So all I got to do now is grind down the welds and seal it, and it should be good. I also got my clutch pedal in there, and on this side I just got to fix that little patch right there. So, and then here's this cable here is for the trunk release. That just runs up under the dash so you can't see it. So I'll pull that, and the trunk will open. Whee! So all I did, I just ran the cable up through the trunk lid here, and then it's got these little clamps every once in a while to hold the cable nice and tight, and then that just runs inside there and hooks up to the latch. So that's all I had to do, and then I just welded a piece of sheet metal behind here, tack welded it 4 times, like on each corner, and then just filled it in with some body filler. So that worked out really nice. I'm pretty happy with that. The other main thing is the front end is pretty much done now. Let me grab my flashlight. I got the front end from a 75 Granada on eBay. Got a really good price on it, and really fast shipping. It was here like within 24 hours, so I was really happy with that. So there she be. Like I said, it's from a 75 Granada. So it's got disc brakes, it's 5 lug, and it bolted right on. The only thing I've got to do is on the original stops that go where the strut rod bolts in, the stop hits and you can't really turn it at all, so I got to grind down the stop to clear the bolt, because it hits the bolt right there. So I just got to do that, and then that'll be all good. I've got the brake lines kind of mocked up at the moment. I just got some old brake lines. Those aren't the stainless steel ones that I'm going to be putting in here, but they're just so that I know how I'm going to route these, because the brake lines on the Granada come out the front, and on the original Mustang it came out the back, so I gotta make a connector piece, otherwise the hose will be all pinched because it'll be stretching too far. So I got that in. That's on all both sides. Got a 16:1 ratio steering box in there. That's from a power steering unit out of a 65 Mustang. The box is the same. It's, like I said, 16:1 ratio, quick ratio. So that'll be a lot better over the 20:1. This is like 3 5/8 turns lock to lock, and it was originally 5. So then I got all my V8 steering in. Got the center link, and this idler arm is old, but I just cleaned it up. It probably needs to be replaced, but I'll do that later when I start driving it. Got the inner tie rods are 65 Mustang. The sleeves are 65 Mustang, and then the outer tie rods I used the 75 Granada ones because the hole in the spindle is bigger. So that is that. The steering is pretty much done now, except there's a weird noise coming from the steering box, so I got to go through that again. I completely rebuilt the steering box with new bearings and everything, pressed new bearings in it, and just rebuilt everything and repacked it all with grease. So I don't know what's going on with it, but I'll fix that. Master cylinder is in there. I think I did that in the last video. And that's about it for right now. I'm just working on this piece right here. I'm gonna try and get that done, and that'll be, if I get this done, and then there's a little spot over here. If I get that done, that part done, and then the floor, then that'll be, all the rust will be taken care of on the car. So I want to get that done pretty soon. So that's about it for right now. There's an update on the Mustang.